back to the Premier League show. As you can see, our guest tonight, former Newcastle Norwich goalkeeper Tim Krul. We're going to focus on Manchester United after Casemiro confirmed that he will not reverse his decision to leave the club at the end of the season. United announced in January that Casemiro would leave the club when his contract expires after 4 seasons at Old Trafford, more than 150 appearances. And the reason this has sort of resurfaced is because he's spoken recently, Casemiro, after Brazil's 2-1 defeat by France last night in an international friendly. This is what he had to say. "I'm still enjoying it a lot in Manchester. It is huge, the affection that fans have shown towards me. But I do really believe the decision is made and done. I believe it will be some difficult moments, these final games at Manchester United." OK, United moving on from Casemiro. Do they need to sign 2 central midfielders this season?
Yeah, obviously they have to think about what's next, and there's some top players available in the summer. Are they going to get them? I think there's a lot of suitors out there for the top young players. I mean, you've got, I think they were linked with Baleba, and obviously Elliot Anderson is up there with probably the most elite players at the moment in the Premier League.
Talk to me about Anderson. I mean, you know, it's all right playing for Newcastle and for Forest, but what about playing for Manchester United? There's a little bit more weight when you're wearing that shirt, surely.
I love watching him play. I think Newcastle were devastated to see him go. A local lad like that, Eddie Howe knew that he would be in the England squad sooner than later. So yeah, again, and he's produced it. I think he went another level at Forest. I think the stats show up that he's in the top 5, if not top 3.
Yeah.
Top midfielders in the league at the moment. So yeah, I do think he's ready for another step. United.
I think also it's be interesting to see what kind of summer he has. Can you see him starting alongside Declan Rice for England in the World Cup?
Yeah, I think I love what Tuchel is doing with England. I think that he's got so many top players to choose from, and I think the way the coach is building at the moment, his way or the highway. And I think there's a lot of players who are individually amazing, but they need to fit in that kind of team culture. And Elliot Anderson, I think the levels he produced this season, he's definitely up there that he will make a good stake to be on that plane.
Let's talk about another midfielder who, in fact, scored against Northern Ireland in the playoff semi-final last night, and that's Sandro Tonali. Yes, another Newcastle player. Sorry to keep mentioning them, but they're obviously of real interest to many clubs, Tonali in particular, because he's of interest to Arsenal too. How good a fit would he be? Yeah,
I think, again, Italian international. I think he scored for Italy yesterday. Top player for Newcastle. I think him, Joe Linton and Bruno have been the reason why Newcastle were so successful the last few years. So clearly they're going to attract a lot of interest, and teams like United clearly are going to look at players like him. And understandably, the agents will be chucking the names in the press, and it shows the quality of players that Newcastle have now, that they're being linked with these top teams.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think, you know, we'll see about what impact that might have on Newcastle.
Manchester United are gearing up for a major midfield overhaul this summer after Casemiro reaffirmed his decision to leave the club when his contract expires at the end of the 2025-26 season. The Brazilian veteran, who has enjoyed a strong swan song under Michael Carrick, stated the move is made and done, brushing aside fan pleas for one more year despite his recent form. With Casemiro's exit confirmed and doubts lingering over Manuel Ugarte, INEOS and Carrick are targeting energetic, younger replacements to inject dynamism alongside Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. 3 key names emerging on the shortlist include Sandro Tonali, Elliot Anderson, and Carlos Baleba, each bringing distinct qualities to address the defensive shield and box-to-box needs. Sandro Tonali from Newcastle has surged to the top of United's wishlist. The Italy international offers tireless energy, excellent ball winning, and progressive passing that many compare favorably to Casemiro's prime. Reports suggest United plan a formal approach, backed by Bruno Fernandes' endorsement, with a potential gentleman's agreement at St James Park easing a deal if Newcastle miss Champions League spots. His experience and leadership could provide immediate stability. Elliot Anderson of Nottingham Forest represents a high-upside English talent. The dynamic midfielder excels in duels, carries the ball forward with purpose, and contributes goals from midfield. United view him as an ideal number 8, though competition from Manchester City poses a major hurdle, with some sources believing City are frontrunners. Securing Anderson would align with the club's push for homegrown talent and long-term potential. Carlos Baleba at Brighton remains a persistent target after failed summer interest. The Cameroonian powerhouse brings physicality, progressive carries, and defensive bite at just 22 years old. Brighton may lower their valuation to around £70 to £85 million, making him more attainable. Baleba's raw athleticism and improving technical game could evolve into a top-class anchor under Carrick's guidance. These options reflect United's strategy, blending proven Premier League performers with youthful potential to rebuild a balanced engine room. Success hinges on timely negotiations amid rising valuations and rival interest. With Carrick's side pushing for top four, fresh legs in midfield could prove pivotal for sustained progress. Please like and subscribe.